Hey y'all, this is Preacher Man R&B, and this is another Top 5 Saturdays. This week I'm going to be talking about 90's Nickelodeon live-action TV shows. Alright, my number 5 is going to be Pete and Pete. I like Pete and Pete, although I watched it when I was very little and I barely remember the episodes. I liked how they worked off each other in the show and how they acted, and I liked the show when I was little. Even if I can't remember the show, I remember watching it. I remember it being a part of my childhood, and I just liked the show. My number 4 is My Cousin Skeeter. Now, I don't know if this had like one season or maybe two, but I liked it. It had a normal black family, and the cousin was a puppet, and I thought it was funny, and I watched it every time it came on, and I just liked how Skeeter and his cousin, I can't remember his cousin's name, but I liked how they reacted with each other and how they used to get in trouble all the time, and I just liked that show when I was little. My number 2, my number 3, that was my number 4. My number 3 is The Life of Famous Jet Jackson. It was about this kid that was in high school, and he was an actor too. And on the show he acted on this other show called it was a secret agent show, and he was a star of that show. And I liked how him and his friends balanced his life as an actor and as a high school student with his everyday life. And I liked how the show's dynamic was, and I watched it every day. And about a couple years back, they were showing reruns on Disney XD, and I watched it, and I loved that show from my childhood. My number 2 has to be Kenan and Kel. I love Kenan and Kel. Kenan and Kel was my favorite show as a kid, one of my favorite shows as a kid. I loved how Kenan and Kel all the time got in trouble and was all the time getting in shenanigans and figuring a way to get themselves out of it. And I love Kel's line every episode. He said, Kenan would say, "Who loves orange soda?" And Kel said, "I do, I do, I do, I do." Ooh. And I loved that when I was a kid, and I still watch it. It comes whenever Teen Nick comes on free, because I ain't got that channel. But whenever it comes on free preview, I watch Kenan and Kel every time it comes on. I just loved Kenan and Kel as a kid, and I loved their show. My honorable mentions is kind of, you couldn't really count them as 90s TV shows because they started in the late 90s and on to the 2000s. It was Zoe 101, Drake and Josh, and the Amanda Show. I liked the Amanda Show because they introduced us to Drake and Josh. And without the Amanda Show, Drake and Josh TV show would have never happened, and a lot of the live-action TV shows on Nickelodeon would have never happened because Drake and Josh is the starting point for all them shows that are on there right now. It's the base of them shows, because without Drake and Josh, none of them other shows would happen, because a lot of characters from Drake and Josh has been on them shows, and it's one big universe, and I like how Nickelodeon is doing that now. My number 1 of all time has to be All That. I love watching All That. I watched it until it stopped playing, and it gave us a whole bunch of actors that we had today, like Kenan and Kel. It gave us Jamie Lynn Spears. A whole bunch of people. And I just liked All That. I watched it every time. Every time I was at my grandma's, me and my cousins were watching it. I watched it every time it came on, and All That was my top favorite live-action Nickelodeon TV show. What's y'all's favorite live-action Nickelodeon TV show from the 90s or even the 2000s? Y'all like and subscribe. As always, it's Preacher Man R&B signing out. God is good. Jesus is awesome. I'll see y'all next time.